Hi folks, welcome into the channel. Juan here from Physical Media EU. Today we have another 4K review, in this case the A24 release for the Brutalist. Hello again and thanks for tuning in for another review. As I was saying, today we're going to check out the Brutalist release by A24. But before we start, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you're interested in physical media, especially Blu-ray reviews and other physical media collecting talk. You can also find me on Instagram, which has the same handle, Physical Media EU, where I post detailed photos of all the items that I review. With that said, we can check out this release of the Brutalist. You can see there Adrian Brody, the protagonist of this film. Here the back synopsis, also the also some description about the bonus features and some technical details about the disc. Now is a good time to pause the video if you are interested in reading this once more in detail. Moving on, here is the front and back of the digipack, and here on the other side we find the disc, which looks quite nice. That's not always the case with many discs. I think this one actually looks quite good. And here on this side we can find the 6 art cards that are included with this release. So let's check these ones out real quick. They are all this kind of like not sure if sketch is the right word for it, but I think all of them look very nice, especially the one that I'm gonna show the last, this one right here. I think this one looks quite nice. In this case, this is a rare scenario where all the art cards are pretty nice, I think, and probably worth putting on a frame or something if you really like this movie. I think this is a very nice selection of art cards. Now moving on to the picture quality. I hope you have watched this movie. If not, I can definitely recommend if you have 3 hours and a half to spare. Also, if I'm not wrong, the movie has an interval kind of at the middle of the movie, so that's a good cut that kind of decided by the director. You can watch the movie into 2 days if you don't want to be sitting for too long at once. I think that's a nice option. But if you have watched the movie, you know that the movie has outstanding photography. It's such a beautiful movie. I think this is a very well-rounded movie to win the Oscar. That is actually what happened. I think this movie was made. I think this movie was made with the intention of creating a masterpiece. They succeeded at it, in my opinion. So everything in this movie is top quality. The dialogues, the acting, the photography, everything is so good. The sound design, the soundtrack, which I don't have yet, but I want to buy it at some point. So in my opinion, the right choice if you want to enjoy this movie in the maximum quality is definitely go for the 4K disc, because the 4K replicates very well this very nice photography and very beautiful picture that is this movie. And one thing to mention here is that this disc doesn't include Dolby Vision. And though this might sound surprising, I think it's really not. I think when directors put so much caring into the photography of the movie, many times they prefer to avoid technologies like Dolby Vision that will kind of like apply presets over the picture. This is something, for example, that Christopher Nolan also avoids. Like all his 4K movies don't have Dolby Vision just because of that, because they do all the fine tuning of the images beforehand and they don't want any technology to modify any of that. Now moving on to the bonus features, there's not a lot of things included here. Is just one audio commentary from the director of photography and also a featurette called The Architects of the Brutalist. And I think A24 pulled here what I call the Criterion Special, because they added as a bonus feature the collectible postcards, which in my opinion doesn't really belong to the group of special features that I think that's things that are included in the disc, not these things included in the booklet and so on. That's something that Criterion does. That's why I call it Criterion Special. When they list the bonus features, they normally mention, for example, an essay that is written in the booklet. And of course, those things are nice to mention, just that in my opinion, they are not part of bonus features. And in case you're wondering about the subtitles, as usual in A24, they include English and Spanish subtitles. Now, a thing to mention, if you are planning to get this release, these kind of editions used to be exclusive from the A24 web shop, but that's not the case anymore. In the US, there are several other places where you can get it. Maybe not several, but at least a few others, like Walmart, Amazon, and I don't know, Barnes and Noble, for example, and so on. But recently, especially for this edition, I think it's the first one I saw. There were a couple of websites in Europe that also had it. For example, the UK website UHD. I know UK is not the same as EU, but kind of sorta. But definitely there were some European websites as well. For example, iMusic, that's a website that I buy regularly from. They had it as well, and I'm sure I saw it in a couple of other places too. So if you're interested in this edition and you're in Europe, maybe you don't need to import it from the US, you can find it somewhere here in the EU. Besides that, I would also like to mention that A24 released very cool t-shirts of the Brutalist, although those sold out pretty fast. I didn't reach to get any of them. There's a wait list, but it has been on for a very long time. I'm almost losing hope that it will reprint those, but in case you're interested, you can always go there and put your email. And that's all for the review. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. Remember also to check out Instagram, the same handle, Physical Media EU, for photos of the release. And lastly, I would love to hear in the comments if you have watched this movie, what did you think of it, and if you have any similar movies to recommend. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all at Okie Dogs.